The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And this will not be returned to start the game. The new rule here in effect. A fair catch will bring this out to the 25-yard line. They'll start with a run by Mitchell.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Ravens at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
You talk about this Seahawk defense.
They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Derek Hall brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there.
This will be fielded at the 17. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
We call a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Levis.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 48 yards. 1st and goal at the 1. Smith and Jigba in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. On this one, he may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Walker will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Devin Duvernay now.
And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line.
A costly mistake there in the return game, and that is not how you want to answer an opening touchdown.
Yeah, and your defense is asking you a lot of questions right now because you're already down 7-0. You turn the ball over, they've got to go right back out there to try and keep it from getting to 14-0.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 9, 2nd and 5. On the option right, here's Levis.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Will Levis.
His 19th touchdown now on the season.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line.
The ball comes out.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
Out quickly here to Smith and Jigba.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6. At the Ravens' 19-yard line.
Okay, ready?
Levis to throw off play action.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So it looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6.
Levis from the gun.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
He's completed a pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Now we're getting make a nice play. He brings up point down.
Jason Myers on for field goal.
Myers' kick is good.
So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. 4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes?
It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 54 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Second and 6. Once again, it's Mitchell. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Now it's Jackson. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. But Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst case.
2nd and 11. Levis back to throw. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And the Seahawks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Give to Walker on the read option. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Levis. He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 33 yards that time. Well, they go play action. Here's Levis. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. 36 yards. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Keep the sticks moving. Keep them moving.
Right back to Mitchell here. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
That's good for Baltimore. First down. First and 10 at the 45.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 54 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. From the 46, here's 2nd and a yard. They run over center with Mitchell. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Jackson now off the bootleg. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
This is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now for the 1st and goal.
Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They go play action with Jackson out to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker with the extra point. And make it 24-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Levis to throw it. He's got a man, complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
First down, Seahawks.
They'll throw it again with Levis. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
On second down, it's Walker. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
A 61-yard attempt.
And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Throw out wide to Walker. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Levis ran it last time. Here he looks to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Room here to run. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
1st down, Seahawks.
In motion right, that's Metcalf. Now they'll fake the jet sweep here and throw off play action. And he's got his man on the out route. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Third and 2. Here's Levis. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be stopped right there at the 31. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed, his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Play action. It's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They're going to try and throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. An option give now to Mitchell. 81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Another run to Mitchell. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Mitchell now off the option. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. Down right around the 25. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Throwing is Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson rolling to his right.
On target to his man, likely.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now 2nd and 5.
And they'll go on the ground.
Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Jackson.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2.
They'll try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Running right, here's Walker.
And he'll work down inside the 45. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Levis on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down.
Option play, and they'll give to Walker.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A 2nd down throw from Levis.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Levis sets up to throw here.
This is Fant on the short completion. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 16 yards to the 16 and a 1st down.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Will Levis
Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Duvernay now going to bring it out.
And they'll be backed up a bit to start as he's out of bounds at the 16.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They go play action now. Jackson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Uchenna Nwosu got the sack there.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Well, looking deep here for Flowers.
And got his man complete. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 64 yards.
It's a gain of 64 yards. That's good for a Baltimore Raven. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 27-yard line.
Keep it rolling, fellas!
Back to the ground here, Mitchell.
He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
125 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
Defensively, you've got the nice lead here in the 4th quarter. You're saying, if they want to get a run of a little over 10 yards, that's okay.
I hear what you're doing there, and I think you're onto something. They've loosened up on defense, so don't get fooled by the nice runs you're getting now. You've got to get bigger plays, possibly think about throwing the football a bit more here.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Zay Flowers.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Ravens get a bit closer.
They're going to try and run. And he'll get in for the score, and that's going to cut the lead down to 13. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Okay, this is it. I'm not having fun anymore. There we go, sit on.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And they will take a knee here. So the victory here for Seattle. And this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So